What's up everybody, Dane Jackson here, and today in this video I'm going to be walking you through our first ever creek half slice, the Clutch. We are all absolutely obsessed with this boat, and we know you will be too. One of the most exciting things about the Clutch is that no matter what type of paddler you are or where you're going paddling, you will get something different and new and exciting out of this boat that you have not experienced. So that means you are still skipping away from drops, skipping over features, carrying your speed, floating high, gives you all that confidence. But now, by having that forgiving half slice stern, it opens up a different realm and a different style of paddling than you've ever had. So let's get into what this boat's all about. With the Clutch, we wanted to keep a lot of the same performance aspects that we've come to love with our creek boat lineup. It still has that really balanced midsection to give you that confidence and stability while still nimble to lean side to side. It still has that high rockered bow that wants to stay over top of anything that's in front of you, and with that little bit of extra surface area on the bow on the hull, this allows that bow to stay on top of the water no matter what is in front of you, whether it's boof, going through waves, crashing through features. This bow wants to stay high and dry, giving you so much confidence. Still has the high rocker from bow to stern that carries throughout the entire boat. Again, what's so great about that is with the rocker carrying throughout the entire boat, combined with that nice balanced midsection, gets these ends high and dry out of the water. It means less waterline. By having that extra floatiness, gives you a lot more confidence in all types of whitewater. This boat is super easy to maneuver. There's less boat to get pushed around when you're trying to turn. It just gives you that confidence and extra control. With the hull, we wanted to keep a lot of what we love in our current creek boat, but we made some changes to the hull to get even better performance out of the Clutch. We kept the full planing hull throughout the boat. It really gives you that extra surface area to carry your speed over features, away from features, which makes things like skips better, confidence, speed, but also enjoyment. Still high floating, giving you that levitating feeling. It wants to stay on top of the water on anything that's in front of you. And of course, with the planing hull, gives you that extra surfing ability as well. We kept the full drop chine throughout the entire boat. Really helps your ability to carve, correct, maneuver, surf on waves. All those things combined make this a really fun, dynamic, and nimble hull to have. We actually lowered the stern rocker 1.5 inches and gave the tip of the stern about a 1/2 inch more width. Really increases the speed of this boat. So whether you're skipping away from features, carrying your speed over boils, across the eddy lines, ferries, this boat is fast and a lot of fun. What's also great about the lower stern rocker is that really helps your ability with the half slice stern to get up and over features. With the lower stern rocker, the boat is less likely to want to completely back enter over top of you, giving you that extra confidence. That does increase the water line at the stern just a little bit, and what's great about that is it increases your ability to carving when going downstream or carving on a wave. This has a lot of great carving ability. Another thing that's really great about the lower stern rocker is it really increases the speed and ability to surf waves. So it not only makes the surfing more enjoyable, so that extra speed on waves allows you to catch more waves going down the river and have an amazing time surfing them. So that's the hull of the Clutch. Now let's get into the deck. Starting at the hips and working our way back, we wanted to make sure that we kept that volume at the hip, but by still having that volume at the hip, really allows the confidence that this boat is less likely to get grabbed when you don't want to. Just gives you that extra confidence no matter what type of whitewater you're in. Then as we moved back from the hip, we went ahead and started tapering away that volume behind the cockpit, and the reason for that is what opens up this boat to a whole new realm of possibilities. So by not having that volume in the way just behind you, combined with the nice soft edges on the side and that wing shape, this stern slices through the water like butter. So whether you're correcting, maneuvering, lifting the bow for kickflip, launching waves, boofing, stern squirts, anything where you're going to be getting the stern into the water, it goes through with ease, giving you that extra enjoyment, giving you that extra ability to play with more features, and also just that added level of control. Then moving back throughout the rest of the stern, not only do we keep the edges as forgiving as possible to keep the stern from getting grabbed when you don't want to, but we also kept a slight peak in the middle of the stern from behind the cockpit through most of the stern. And the reason for that is by having that slight peak means that none of the stern is concave. So not only does it not get held underwater when you don't want it to, but it also increases your ability to get the stern out of the water when you want to. So whether you're dismounting from a stern squirt, a splat, or you're running some bigger whitewater, when the stern goes under, you are able to pop it out, giving you that extra level of confidence and a lot more control. But another thing that's really nice about having that lower stern rocker combined with those forgiving shapes on the deck is it really allows this boat to be really balanced when vertical. So when you do get vertical running the whitewater or doing something like stern squirt, it is super balanced to keep vertical and it doesn't want to keep going past vert. Gives you that extra level of control, but also that extra confidence no matter what you're doing with the stern. When you are ready to dismount from something like a stern squirt or a splat, super easy to just pop that stern out and keep moving downstream. That extra surface area gives you more to engage when trying to maintain the stern squirt, but that also means that you can maintain a stern squirt even at lower angles. So the dead vertical stern squirts are still amazing, but even the lower angle stern squirts are very satisfying in this boat and super easy to maintain. Lower stern rocker, that nice smooth shape on the deck, the high bow rocker. Not only does it surf waves amazing, whether just front surfing, carving, you can also spin it. Also means you can surf a lot steeper waves. So it opens up a lot more waves to be surfed on the way down the river. And even on the foamiest waves, there's no volume to get pushed around, which means that even on the rowdiest waves, you are still able to surf like crazy and keep this boat in control. So all these things combined on this stern really give you the most confidence, but also the most enjoyment no matter what you're looking to get out of this boat. Let's talk about some of the smaller changes we made. At the bow, we did another set of deck lines just to give it a different aesthetic. At the hip, we increased the peak slightly, but we actually carried that peak all the way around the back of the cockpit. And the reason why we carried that peak around the cockpit is just help give it that little extra structure. On the deck of the stern, we still gave it some nice deck lines, and we carried those deck lines as far back on the boat as possible. And the reason for that is just help give that little extra structure on the deck of the stern. So that's the main aspects of the clutch. Now let's get into the outfitting. The clutch will be coming with our standard whitewater outfitting. We still have the full grab handles on the bow and the stern. Our grab handles on the end are still horizontal, which again just makes it so much more comfortable whether dragging the boat, loading the boat, passing the boat, portaging, whatever it may be. You don't have to worry about your hands getting jammed. Then we still have our full grab handles behind the cockpit, but we position them in a way to try to get them as much out of the way as possible to make it as least likely as possible to hit your elbows, whether surfing, stern squirting, kick flips, or anything where you're reaching behind you. Behind the cockpit, we still have our molded in rear wall holder. We have our full drain plug. So that's the outside of the boat. Now let's get into the inside. Clutch comes with our Sherlock easy to adjust back band. The back band also has an adjustable strap on the back to adjust the height of the back band, but can be unbuckled to give you easier access to the stern of the boat. It comes standard with our bee's knees easy to adjust thigh hook system for those that want a little extra hook. We have the hip pads that have two straps on them, one on the top and bottom, again just to help hold the hip pads in place no matter how much paddling you're doing. We have our easy to adjust seat that has 5 different seating positions, which has 2 ropes on the back of the seat which allow you to clip in things like ropes, dry bags, or anything in the back of the boat. We also have the bungees on the track and U-channel that give you the ability to put things like water bottles, rope, and the one on the track is out of the way so you can still adjust your bulkhead. Comes with our full Unishock shock absorbing bulkhead. As always, the Unishock comes with our removable foot plates that gives you that access to the bow for extra storage when doing things like overnighters or anything you need to put that extra gear in. On the inside at the end of the stern, we added foam on both sides of the center wall, which not only helps keep the center wall straight in place and supporting the hull, but it also fills up the tip of the stern again just to give it that little extra support. So if you're someone that wants to just run the river, this boat will still give you a different experience because by not having that volume in the way on the stern, just opens up a whole new level of control and way to run the river. So whether you just want to slice in out of eddies, launch off of every wave that's in front of you, exaggerate boofs, not only do you have that full enjoyment and confidence of a full-on creek boat, the ability to pop this bow from whatever angle you're at just opens up a really fun and exciting new level of control. But on the other end, if you are somebody that wants to get vertical, play around as much as possible and doing things like tomahawks, cobra flips, free wheels, all that half slice capability is still there for those that want it. Another thing that's great about the clutch is by eliminating that stern volume, this boat is a couple pounds lighter. To wrap things up, the clutch will be coming only in one size, but what's great about the clutch is it has a very wide rate range. We've had smaller paddlers paddling this boat and still able to stern squirt this boat, and we've had paddlers like Alec Voorhees running this to Keen and still feeling fully confident. So even though this boat is only in one size, the half slice ability of this boat will open up a much wider rate range. Whether you're someone that just wants to get to point A to point B and run the river, or you're someone that wants to get recklessly vertical, whichever type of paddler you are and whatever type of rivers you're on, you will get a different experience and you will look at a river in a different way than you have before. And it's truly a boat that's got us all absolutely obsessed and fired up, and we know you guys will be too. So that's the clutch. Head on over to your local dealer and get your hands on one. You will not regret it. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the water.